All right, everyone, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. Going to be breaking down this Monday night 7-game slate. If you guys enjoy the coverage, make sure to give a like and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is a injury-packed slate that we have. It's going to be a slate in which we have a lot of if-then statements, if you will. So if we start off just with the Pacers, we are going to see they're going to be without Tyrese Haliburton, Mathurin, McConnell, and also Miles Turner. That's going to open up a ton of value. And they're going against the Detroit Pistons, who, as we know, have been extremely banged up as well. Ton of value there. So Bagley's out. Bogdanovich is out. Burks is out. Diallo, Ivy, Stewart. That's a lot of minutes available for some softer price plays. Looking at Memphis, they're still going to be without Steven Adams and John Morant. Luka's out for Dallas. We have a game time decision on Kyrie Irving. If he sits, that's going to open up some value. Looking at Phoenix, they're still going to be without Kevin Durant and also Landry Shamet. And then we are looking at the Utah Jazz. We got Jordan Clarkson as a game time decision. If he sits, we got Horton Tucker as a very strong price point play. Colin Sexton is ruled out in that game, though, however. So we have a bunch of projected kind of values on this slate. And so if we were to just sort by value here, we will see that we're going to get a ton of DraftKings value. So Isaiah Jackson, the center for Indy, projected to start. Yeah, he's going to be a good play. Let's see how many projected minutes he's expected to get, 25.4. If he does get those minutes, he's going to be too low price point wise. If you look at his per 36 numbers and I had to do it with Haliburton, Mathurin, and Turner off the court to get some sort of a decent sample size. If I were to throw in TJ McConnell in there, it kind of would skew the sample size a little bit. But if we look at his per 36 numbers, he averages 48 fantasy points per 36. Now, once again, let's make this clear. Not going to get that many minutes. He's going to get about 25, most likely. Okay, so even at that allotment of minutes, he should be able to get there. Then we look at Andrew Nembhard. Okay, he is someone at this price tag is going to be tough not to like. If we look at his per 36 numbers with those players off the court, averages about 33 fantasy points per 36. Now, he's priced up a little bit. I wouldn't say this is as much of a lock and load, but chances are he is going to go off. Okay. Now, Buddy Hield, currently questionable. He would be another good play for you as well. But I kind of like Jordan Nwora as well. So let's go ahead and just kind of look at the plays here. Like, I think we are just kind of plugging and playing Isaiah Jackson just at this price tag, simply too cheap. We just saw him go off for 43 DK points in this same matchup. And that's the thing. Very easy matchup, whether it's going against James Wiseman or Jalen Duren. He should be able to feast. Point guard wise, it just makes sense to go with Andrew Nembhard. Just went for 34 DK points. This is going to be chalky, but it's going to be chalk in which we kind of have to eat, I feel like. Chris Durante, more of a GPP only play, but I'd be fine ending up on him. More of a shoulder shrug play, a player that if you end up on him, you're fine with it. And then I'm actually really shocked that Nwora wasn't popping up more, and it could just be because of minutes. So he did start against Houston and put up 32 DK points in that game. And so we would have to figure out, is he going to start or not? And so to me, we have him projected to get 26 minutes. If he's going to be at 4 and 1%, that is GPP winning upside at that ownership, because we have seen him go off. Like 32 DK points is not shocking. He is someone that when he's on the basketball court, he's going to go out and chuck. Okay. He typically can get a rebound or a few rebounds there, averages 3.2 on the season. But with a little bit more of an increase in minutes, I expect that number to be up. And if you look at his per 36 minutes on a very, very, very small sample size, I want to make that very clear. Averages 25.7 points, 5.4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and a block, and 43 fantasy points per 36. Now, once again, not going to get those minutes. We haven't projected to get 25 minutes. If he gets those minutes in this matchup against in this matchup against Detroit, I find that highly appealing. I mean, look at this, guys. In 16 minutes, he had 16 DK points. Now he had 3 turnovers and 3 personal fouls. That's Jordan Nwora. Like, he is someone that it's kind of a high risk, high reward type play. Like, if he's on, he's going to go off. Honestly, if he puts up 40 tonight, it wouldn't be shocking. If he puts up literally this again, it wouldn't be shocking as well. GPP upside that I like, especially at that low ownership. And then from there, if you want to play Jalen Smith, you could. Not terrible. On the flip side of that, I feel like we need to spend time on these two games because they are kind of the two games that we're going to be pulling from the most. Okay, so Hayes has been someone that's casually been going off lately, especially in games that are close. And this is a game that is expected to stay close. So 49 DK points against Indy the last time out. We look at Chicago, 29. We look at Charlotte, 45. And what's kind of the two data points here is that in games in which he's gotten 35 minutes, in easier matchups, he's went off. And so we look at Charlotte here, 0 for 6 shooting the basketball, 19 minutes, still 14.5 DK points. So can we end up on Hayes? Let's see his projected minutes, 34%. He is extremely chalk. Probably not chalk that you have to eat on FanDuel. At the same time, it does make sense, okay? This is a game that we're probably going to be stacking. This is a game that we probably want at least 4 players from. which sounds crazy to say, but I think we kind of have to be attacking it. And he is kind of like the obvious play. Now, would it be shocking to see Corey Joseph have a good game? No, but he is, he's high priced. I would say on FanDuel, he makes a little bit more sense. Now, Eugene, I don't mind. Going to be a decent starting value play on the day. As long as he gets around, let's just say 26 minutes, I think the possibility of him getting to 30 DK points is there. Obviously 16 isn't great, but I think that'd be the floor. That's not too terrible if he's going to get that allotment of minutes. And then looking at him, I'm very interested. Let's pull up Detroit here and just look at their projected minutes on the day, because that's really going to be the deciding factor. James Wiseman, if we knew he was going to get 34 minutes, we'd just be loading up on him. We don't know that. Okay, we look at Eugene, 27 minutes, Jalen Duren, 25 minutes. If we knew for sure that Jalen Duren was getting 25 minutes, we would be heavily overweight on him, because this is a great matchup. He just went off in this matchup, and he probably does need to get that many minutes. So at his price point, Jalen Duren is a play that makes a lot of sense. Look at this last game against Indy, 20 minutes, and he was only 4 for 8 for a big, not that great, okay? Put up 36.75 DK points. So definitely a play that we can be looking at. And if we look at it, guys, you could get away with playing him on FanDuel as well. And that's the thing, maybe besides Killian Hayes, every other play for Detroit is available on FanDuel as well. Firmly in play. So from there, who are the other great value plays that we can go out of our way to play? Well, we see Kyle Howard popping up there. That's interesting. Torrey Craig for Phoenix, obviously with Shaman out and with KD out. Not terrible. Durante. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of Pacers and Detroit players pop up. We know that. John Collins still popping up as a good value play. Don't mind that. Let's look at FanDuel. So FanDuel, more of the same. Okay, we got literally 4 straight players from Indy. That is too cheap there. I would say Jalen Smith on FanDuel is a little bit more appealing, as is Andrew Nembhard and even Isaiah Jackson. It almost feels like, given their price points, we kind of need to lock those guys in on FanDuel and then figure out the builds from there. And the nice part about it is we're not going to be giving up a center position. We can play 2 power forwards. And then with that, you could easily be able to afford to pay up for the studs on the slate, whether it be Giannis, Curry, Tatum, Sabonis. I'd be fine with that as well. So I do want to point out this as well. Jordan Clarkson, currently questionable. If he were to sit, I do think we can definitely play Chris Dunn in GPPs, but I think we'd just be pretty much locking in Horton Tucker. And I never like to say the lock word, but point guard Horton Tucker has really been playing extremely well. The usage rate has been extremely high. I'm kind of hoping that Clarkson does sit, because that makes the slate kind of more unique in terms of lineup process. We have to kind of figure it out. To me, I'm going to be playing Horton Tucker right now. Even if Clarkson does play, Clarkson has kind of taken a back seat lately. So either way, it's still a good play. Now, obviously the matchup isn't what we prefer, but at the same time, it's fine. Whatever, not too worried about it. And then from there, just mentioning this as well, if Kyrie Irving were to sit, currently questionable, I think we would just be loading up on Hardy and also Josh Green. Okay, I feel like those would be simple, easy plug and plays. So let's just do a lineup with that. And what's weird is that they clearly hate Christian Wood, because he only played 15 minutes in a game without Kyrie Irving and Luka. So I would say we could play Christian Wood and probably go overweight on him if he is starting. It's a big if, though. And to me, it does feel a little bit risky. But that is a situation and a play in which I think we could potentially make. I don't mind. But once again, very much GPP only play. And let's just take a peek at those plays as well. For Dallas, we got Kyrie Irving is projected to play 34.6 minutes, so he is projected to play. And then Reggie Bullock also projected to play as well. We got Christian Wood projected to get 18.5 minutes, so someone we're staying away from. And guys, for what it's worth, Josh Green and Hardy are still in play, even if Kyrie Irving does play. But we got Reggie Bullock back in this game, someone you could play. Tim Hardaway Jr., someone you could play. I think Josh Green and Hardy, just given their price points, would be the plays. And then lastly, to me, this seems like such a cheap price tag for Chris Paul. Yes, we know he's a little bit hit or miss, but I will take the upside that he presents. 50 or 46 DK points at this price tag. And to me, the matchup is just one in which he's going to try to go off against. Right? We look at the last game against Golden State, 41.3 DK points. Okay. Just someone I think we need to be paying up for. And if we look at it on FanDuel as well, someone we can firmly play. The price point isn't too high. The ownership's not too high. Just an appealing price point play across the board. And so with that, guys, we can see we have a ton of wiggle room with our lineups. For now, I'm going to put in Giannis, and we can make those pivots as the day progresses. Now, if Giannis sits, it's a simple move as well. We're loading up on Brook Lopez, who is arguably still too cheap, especially given this matchup. I mean, it's per 36 numbers, say 40 DK points with Giannis off the court. Drew is probably a little bit too high. Chris Middleton doesn't feel too high. His minutes have been going up recently. So if we know that he's going to get an increase in minutes, then I like him as a play. Now that game did go into OT. I don't think they planned for him to get 30 minutes or 34 minutes, but if that's a sign of things to come, I do think low own GPP upside play. Price point's crazy though. Want to make that clear. And so if we get news that Kyrie is playing, I think the pivot's kind of simple here. Like we could be looking at some sort of lineup path like this. Obviously there's a lot of value. We can afford to pay up for the studs. Right now it's just trying to figure out which studs are going to be active really. So it is kind of an exciting slate. Like I love these slates like this where there's a bunch of if-then statements. We're kind of waiting for news to come out, which should be a reminder to you guys, be in the Discord chat before lock. Going to be a lot of slate breaking news that really is going to change the impact of really this whole slate. And it's a fun one to me. I'm excited to play this one. But that's all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. If you did, like and subscribe. If you guys want access to any of the tools that you saw in this video, click the links in the description below. And also there's the link to the Discord chat below as well. All right, let's have a good slate. And as always, good luck.